welcome again to our subject, industrial motor control. Now the final is very fast approaching, so I want you to listen this very carefully because this is the one that I'm going to give you during our final exam. In my final exam, I will give you, of course, the sequential control and the reduced voltage magnetic starter, particularly the Y delta and the auto transformer. But the rest of the reduced voltage, I will only give that to you as a lecture, and then I might not include that in the final. So considering that in the 5 types of reduced voltage magnetic starter, there are only 2 which are very common, the Y delta and the auto transformer. I will give more emphasis to these 2 types of reduced voltage magnetic starter. This includes the power and the control circuit. In our previous lessons, I give you Y delta reduced voltage magnetic starter using 3 contactors. So we have M or main contactor, then we have the delta, and then the Y contactor. Then try to review the previous video that we have regarding our Y delta reduced voltage magnetic starter, because this morning I'm going to give you the same topic, Y delta reduced voltage magnetic starter, but this time using only 2 contactors. So we have the Y and the delta contactor, and we remove the main contactor, but it will come out the same. No, it will come out the same. Okay, so here it is, our power circuit. So we have here the delta, and then we have the Y contactor. Now always remember that the Y contactor is only intended for short circuiting. It is always short circuit the XYZ, or that is in the European, and in the American you have to short circuit the 4, 5, and 6, because these are all endings. Now the condition is like this. In the operation, that is in the opposition, contactor that are open, of course, the Y and delta. So when you switch on the push button, the Y will close and the delta is open. Okay, after the time transition, 7 to 12 seconds, automatically the Y will be open and then the delta will close. Okay, so this is the condition. Now, you will also observe that in the power circuit, the UBW, or the terminal 1, 2, and 3 are already connected after the breaker. Okay, but if you will on the breaker and then without pressing the push button on, still the windings are not energized. Not like in the Y delta using 3 contactors, the terminal 1, 2, and 3 are not in line, even if you are already switching on the circuit breaker. But here, when you switch on the circuit breaker, there is already current flowing in the windings. Okay, there is already current flowing, but considering that the Y is still open, so the circuit is open. Okay, so when you press the button start, okay, or on, the first that will energize is the Y contactor, this one, that will energize. This will close. Then what will happen? The XYG will be are connected together, meaning to say short circuited because of Y, while the UBW, or the terminal 1 and 2, 3 are connected to line 1, line 2, line 3 respectively. So this is RST. Okay? So I try to combine the US and the European. Now, after a few seconds, of course, this will be open. Okay? This will be open and the delta will close. Now, in our caption, when it is already delta, the line 1, in the terminal, or line 1 rather, the terminal U and G connect together. The line 2, VX connect together. And then the line 3, WY connect together. Then the delta now is running, the motor now is running in delta connection. Okay? So, be careful of the line here. Be careful of the line. Again, when you press the button on or start button, the first one that will energize is the Y contactor, short circuiting the X, Y, and G. So, considering that the breaker is already on, so the current will immediately go to your windings. So, the motor is Y connected. After a few seconds, after the time transition, the Y will open and the delta will close, short-circuiting the UZ together, VX together, and WY together. So that is the power circuit of your Y delta reduced voltage magnetic starter using two contactors. Okay, this is now the power circuit. So try to trace the circuit. Okay, so I hope you get it. Okay, then I'm going to give you the control circuit. Now remember, we are only using two contactors, the Y and the delta. So where is our main contact, or rather main contactor? Now, the timer, this time, the timer here has biggest role. Considering the maintaining contact will be taken from the time delay relay or on delay timer. In the previous diagram that we have, using three contactors, the maintaining contact is taken from the main contactor. So you have three contactors. But this time, considering that we are using only two contactors, the maintaining contact or the holding intended for the holding circuit will be taken from the time delay relay or on delay timer. Okay? Now, here is your on delay timer. You will observe that there is mode here, there is mode A and B. Okay? Mode and A and B. Now, where will you use, where is now the normally open, or shall we say an instantaneous contact or instant contact of your timer? So if you want to use an instantaneous contact or instant contact for maintaining contact, what you are going to do is switch this to mode B. You have here, mode B. So, if you are adjusting this to mode B, you are now utilizing the instant contact because this is your timing contact. We are using this timing contact. So, if you will adjust this to mode B, you are using your instant contact here. So, this will serve as our maintaining contact. This portion here is another timing contact if you will adjust this to mode A. But this time, we will be using instant contact intended for maintaining contact. So you adjust this timer to mode B here. So this portion now your instant contact. And then we will be using this portion as your timer or timing contact. Okay? So I have here now the control circuit. Okay? You have here the control circuit. So you have your overload contact, push button, stop, push button, start. And this is your maintaining contact. Instant contact taken from your timer. Okay? So if you will look at the diagram at standstill, no, you will observe that this is open. So no current will flow. But once you energize, or rather pressing this button start, of course, there will be a continuous flow of current going to your timer. So the holding coil or the magnetic coil of your timer will be energized, closing the instant contact, serve as your maintaining contact, and at the same time, the Y is energized. So in our power circuit, I remember when I pressed the button on, I told you that the Y contactor is the first one that will be energized, short-circuiting the terminal XYZ, or the terminal 4, 5, and 6, that is in the American. But this time, we are using the instant contact of your timer serve as the maintaining contact, because we don't have main contactor here. We are using only two contactors. So you have the Y and the delta. Okay, you have here the delta. This one. So this is your delta. Now, let us trace the circuit. Still, you have your, don't ever forget this, the interlock. Okay? I think you know the purpose of the interlock. And then you have your timing contact. Now, when I press the button here, energize, this will close. So since this will close, this is closed, so the current will flow, immediately energizing the Y. Okay? So the motor now is running in Y connection. After a few seconds, you adjust this to 7 to 12 seconds, that is the transition time. Automatically, the timing contact here will transfer here in the normally open terminal. Then, de-energizing the Y, energizing the delta. So once this is energized, this will open. Now remember, when the Y is energized, this will also open. So the circuit is very safe. Again, so when this is energized, after a few seconds, this timing contact will transfer here, makes the motor runs in delta connection. So that is a very simple explanation. So look at try to remember the diagram. Okay, so this is the control circuit of your Y delta using two contactors. Now this is tested and proven. We already connected this. You can even connect having large horsepower. You can still use this. No? You can still use this. But as I look at the book, I think this is not being introduced, but this can be used. So let us see, if you are a technician, then the connection is three contactors, using three contactors. And it so happen that one of the contactors is, shall we say, defective. Or maybe the contacts, we do not know what happened, but it is defective. So what you will do? The two contactors are still good. Okay? The two contactors are still good. So what you will do is remove the defective one, reconnect the circuit into two contactors, using two contactors. Then there you are. The motor is still running. Particularly if you are in the ship, no? You are traveling, and then you don't have a spare contactor. So as a technician, you should have this kind of knowledge. So this is now an initiative. Then when I look at this at the book, in the book, I was not able to see this connection. What is being introduced there is always the magnetic, the Y delta using three contactors. By the way, if you will be using this contact here, okay, if you will be using this contact, or you will use in maintaining contact for delta, then the connection now is also different. So when the delta is energized, maybe you intend to disconnect the timer when the delta is energized, then that can be done. But this is the most common diagram control circuit when it comes to two contactors for Y delta. Okay, so once again, we are not allowed to go to our school for actual connections, but hopefully by next year, no, we are not December. By next year, if we are already allowed, if we are allowed to be there, then of course, please connect the actual. Okay, you connect the actual. We will only schedule. I plan to schedule this semester or this month, but you are all 5 sections, so it is very difficult for me, including the masteral. Okay, so we will just expect that you can connect the actual connections next year. The materials are already prepared, everything is there, so what is needed there is your presence. Okay, so thank you, and again, good day.